Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Do you know what we're going to talk about today?
No idea. I just
Okay.
came across the email in my inbox yesterday. I'm like, oh, I should probably go to
Yeah.
that. So this is my first one, so I'm not too sure what these are all about, but you know,
We'll find out.
exactly. Have you been to any of these before?
I have, but we haven't done much because of COVID.
Right. Of course.
So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, because I just joined up last fall. And not too
Okay.
much was going on then,
No,
so
I think we only did like the Halloween thing.
oh, okay, I think, after that, but, oh, you're the host now.
I know. I just saw that. I'm reading it.
What
Okay.
happened to the Village of Williamsville?
I don't,
I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, maybe more people will be on by now."
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, Basil should be on, right?
I would imagine. Yeah,
I would think. Yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's just be you and me, and we don't know what's happening.
No,
But
not
it's recording us. It's recording us right now.
oh, that's true, it is. That is true. Oh, look.
All right. Let's give them another couple minutes, then we'll log off. Sound good?
Oops, sorry.
Hi.
Hi, ladies. Yes. Yeah,
Hi.
I was wondering.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm this is my first year on this committee. So are you guys on it for a while or?
no,
Oh, how long?
I think probably last spring.
Yeah.
but nothing, we didn't really do anything because everything got canceled.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, there's
doing
Basil.
stuff in the fall, so I don't think too much was happening then. So
No.
Hi, ladies.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh, goody. How is everybody?
Good. How are
Good,
you?
how you doing?
Well, I'm still standing, so that's good news. I'm just going to give a little bit of background. We kind of have reinstituted the Art and Culture Committee. Trish, you would already understand that, I guess. And the Art and Culture Committee really was essentially the group that did the art festival. That was kind of under the direction of the attorney. He said we shouldn't be doing it directly through the village. So we ended up joining the beautification, the preservation something, the one that Al had been in. Anyway, we're in a different group in a 501c3, and last year it didn't work, obviously, because of COVID. It may work this year. So there is a core group. Matt's wife was acting co-chairperson with the Haneys, and I think that's still going to continue. And if we have it, probably the Art and Culture Committee will be asked to give as much help as possible for that. If we had, and we don't know if we're going to have it, because there are so many people close together that it's hard to say how things will be by the end of July, which is when the art festival should happen. I did talk to Lauren about it, and she's contacted all those that were accepted for last year, and they will be the same ones that will be the art people for this year. I think there's about 125 of them, if that works. That's one item. The other one really is that we might get involved with is the meeting house. There's a player group under the leadership of a gentleman named Doug Kern. They're called the Rocking Horse Productions. He's planning on possibly having a spring play. And if not, then he's also planning for the 21-22 season for plays. And I'm not sure how much the group needs to be involved with that, but giving them some support, we'll see how that works out. Now, there's a side information there that the mayor has decided, and the board agrees, I guess, that the meeting house has been too expensive to maintain. It's soaking up more money than we like, even though originally back in the 70s, the village paid $1 for it because the religious group couldn't maintain it anymore. But it just costs a continuing drain, and she's having it appraised right now, and we're going to see if there's a market for it. If not, then the place under Doug Kern's leadership will still happen. That's an unknown, obviously. Other than that, do you folks have any thoughts on where you think art and culture should be going? Now, if you're not all yelling at once, that's not good news.
I'm new, babe. This is only my first meeting. So
Okay.
I was gonna just kind of gauge like what you do and how you do it. So I'll have to brainstorm a little, and since we don't do the art festival any longer, we're only a support group for that, correct?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
However, if a lot of you, just on that point, if a lot of you would prefer to get more active with that group, then, because it's all volunteers anyway, just like this is, then the art festival, I mean, the art culture committee could become a major part of the art festival committee. It's just that the art festival committee is no longer officially a village committee. It's this separate, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the group, but basically it's a group that was formed when we had the Taste of Williamsville for several years. And that money used to go for beautification in the village. Bill Matar is still chairman of that group, and we did, and we will still go in that direction. Give me 10 seconds. I have a grandson walking in.
Thank you.
Okay. Still a busy household.
That's good.
The other fly in the ointment, so to speak, is that I'm definitely retiring from being on the village board as of July 1. If anybody wants to run for a trustee, there's an open spot there. Trish, you want to run?
It sounds like a lot of work.
It is. I mean,
It is.
I remember when I was first told, it says, "Oh, there's just 2 meetings a month," and oh, by the way, you're going to be liaison to this committee and this committee and that committee, and every time you meet, then there's other things you have to do as a follow-up for those committees, and it is funny that it can take a lot of hours every month, and I didn't get involved until I was really almost toward the end of my teaching career, so it wasn't so bad, and my kids have been grown up by that time. If you're in the middle of all that, I wouldn't recommend it to any one of you.
Basil, weren't you mayor at one time as
Yeah.
well, if I remember correctly?
Say again?
Weren't you mayor at one time as well?
From 95 to 03. Yeah,
Yep,
for
that's
8
what I thought.
for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then
good
and I thought
thinking.
I was done, and somehow I came back and just kept coming back.
I'm glad you did.
Well,
Yeah.
it's been fun and enjoyable, and it's really a nice thing to give back to the village as I have for a lot of years. But you know, I'm in my 80s, so it's time to say goodbye. As
Take
of
it
July,
easy.
so
Yeah.
I will. But do you have any other thoughts on direction for the Art and Culture Committee, though? I mean, I've just given you some of the things that we have done. Now, there's also the Amherst Symphony.
Yeah.
We brought them into the village, and that would take some work or some help, at least, or helping to organize it again this year, on the part of some folks, either a different elected official or someone from the committee. It basically takes some phone calls, and the money would come from the village anyway, so that's not a problem. But that's about all that we have done. We did something at Halloween, and I don't know if someone can explain that better than I did. Basically, we took those little what do you call those? Miniature.
Like gourds. We had gourds and stuff and pumpkins, and we decorated them with stickers.
Gourds, that's right. Now, what do we have them do? If you want to do that again this coming fall?
Yeah, we did, and we did it with Youth and Rec.
Okay, so that's
We did it
a,
together.
that's a nice thing to do with another group. So if you want to do that in the fall, that's a nice little thing to do. But anything else any of you thinks of is in the world of art or culture? Well, come to think of it, we did think about having an artist do some artwork on the DPW building. Now, I guess all of you did see what happened, or what, not what happened, but what was done on one side of the village hall, village building, which I think came out great, by the way. That cost a chunk of money. It ended up coming from money that had been saved from the what is it called when
Oh, the
people
garden, the garden
gar-
walk.
the garden walk. And
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
a period of years, Deb had carefully husbanded that money, and that ended up paying the individual for both the time and material that went into that. I think that was several thousand. I don't know the exact number, but it came out great. Now, when we had talked about this, excuse me, in the past, we were thinking of maybe having an art teacher from Williamsville South, and I did talk to her. I don't have her name in front of me right now, and she was thinking of maybe getting some better students and doing something in the spring of 21. But this has been such a convoluted year that won't work this school year. But if that's something you want to pursue in the future, or if there's enough money left over from the art festival committee, which is now separate from the village, could allocate some money to the art and culture committee for that reason. So there's options there going forward once COVID leaves us alone, if it ever does. But that's about it.
All right.
Any other comments anyone want to throw my way? Throw my way.
Sure, just a quick one. I also am chair for the Historic Preservation Commission. So on
Okay.
the culture end, we have a very rich history in the village.
Yes.
And maybe we could collaborate in some way and do, like a throwback day, or a dress up day, or come up with something like that, like dress in the period of 1890s and on Main Street or something, and just kind of have a cultural day and have the restaurants participate with some food of the period or something, if you ever want to go in that direction.
Well, it's a possibility. I mean, because culture is more than just music and art, obviously. History is
Right.
certainly a big chunk of it.
Historical,
Yeah.
yeah, and we could actually, we could incorporate some of the older art. I mean, there's some artists that came from this area. Some of the artworks, or some of see if there's any musicians. I know there's lots of research people that have come from this area and things like that. So we could pull up some of that history, that cultural history. But just a thought, maybe something for down the road.
Well, Basil,
could be
didn't they
looking
do?
into it. Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead.
didn't they do something like that at the cemetery for like a anniversary where they all got dressed up, and you learned about like all the major characters from Williamsville?
Was it, you mean the year 2000?
No, it was more recent. And I mean, because everyone was dressed up in period clothing, and you went to each grave site and they explained who everybody was. I don't know what that was for though. Brian might have been mayor still.
Was Brian involved with that, or was Al involved with that?
Brian was there. I remember talking to Brian, but it was really neat, and it had a lot of people there.
Okay, and again, that might be in something in collaboration with the HBC. Possibility. Yeah, that was done how long ago, Trish?
I don't know. I think it was like some anniversary or centennial. I don't know.
Oh, the centennial of the town. That's right.
Was that what it was? Okay.
That was just what, 2 years ago now?
Yeah, it was not that long ago.
Yeah, I remember that. Although I didn't go to it, so
I did. It was really good.
All right, so maybe that's a possibility again.
Yeah.
at some point. I'm trying to think now, in 2025, the village would be celebrating its 225th birthday. So possibly it would hold off until then, but tuck that in your head somewhere, because you're gonna still
Okay.
be around then. Hopefully I will too, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be fun. Trish, Basil, who's the chair?
Of
who's chair?
the chair of this, I'm waiting for someone to say, I'm willing to be the chair.
There you go, Tricia. Sounds like you'd be a good one.
I've done it too much. I can't right now.
Yeah.
I wish I
All
could.
right. And you're already chair of the HPC, so that.
Yeah,
that
I'm
might be-
good.
Yeah, I suspect that, yeah. Well, you know what? I'll send another email to everybody and,
Okay.
and throw that request out again that if someone feels like they have enough time, and it shouldn't be, and I hate to put it this way because it might be a lie, but it shouldn't be overly demanding. It really, in the past, the Art and Culture Committee, it was busy in the spring for planning the art festival, but we have a core group that's really going to do that. But volunteering to join that group, especially when the time comes, and it would be the last weekend of July again, that even just that part, it could take a couple of days of your time, but not too much more than that.
No, and it's fun too.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I get a kick out of it. When a couple of my adult children happened to be back in town a couple of years ago, and they saw it, and they couldn't believe how well organized and how many and the quality of what we have. It's really one of the better ones, I think, in Western New York. But that's about it, unless somebody else wants to throw something at me.
What about, I don't know how possible this would be, but if maybe in the summer have like movies at the park, like get a projector and have just a small gathering, if that's something we could possibly do?
I think the youth committee already does that, does it not?
Do they?
They do. They do.
Oh,
But
they do.
they do it through Amherst now, but they help Amherst do it.
Okay, so, okay, because Amherst has the technology, is that basically
And
it?
and
Trish?
all the there's like legal reasons. We were showing them illegally before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
wondering about rights and what we would be able
Yeah,
to
so I think
show, but
Amherst pays for that, and then they show it, and we just help them out when they have it in Island Park.
Gotcha.
The youth and rec
Okay.
volunteers.
They use the village, but it's the town.
Yeah.
To what extent was the youth committee still involved with that then?
I think just volunteering, like selling popcorn. That's about it.
Okay, yeah. All right. I don't really have any other suggestions at the moment, but if not, by the way, I don't know if you had to wait a couple of minutes for me to come on. I was trying to do it on one computer, which wouldn't let me do it. I don't know why. So now I'm using my iPad, and somehow it works fine with the iPad and not with my laptop. But at least I got on. I'm not great with technology. My grandson who just walked in would have been my salvation if he had been here sooner. Anything else though? If not, I'll just say goodbye and thanks for coming on.
of course.
And
Thank you.
would you like to have a meeting next month just to say hello? See if there's
Sure.
anything that we, all right. All right, and then maybe the month after that, I'll skip, depending on what's happening with COVID and the art festival.
Yeah, the Haney
right.
said they're gonna make a decision by March, they thought.
Yeah, so we would know maybe by our next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Basil.
And have a good 3 weeks or so.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye.
see ya.